Oh, hi there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. Or not episode. Well, it is episode, but it's a live episode. This is a very special episode. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have anything to comment or say while we are streaming, please let us know in the comments. We'll try to respond to as many as we can. We're talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, the successor of this Nintendo Switch system right here, which I can't get enough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 right now. So there you go. I've been playing that. I'm in a new venue. My office moved in the house, so I am here. But better lighting, at least, maybe. Yeah, we're talking about Nintendo Switch 2, Austin. We had a bunch of leaks this week. One in particular that got a bunch of attention and seems very legit. We've had a lot of comments in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord yet, maybe there's not a link in the description below. There should be a link in the description of one of our videos. Yes. We know I skipped Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yes, I did. But yeah, so we are going to be talking about that. So there's a lot of buzz online right now, Austin, that this leak for the Nintendo Switch 2 is real.
Yeah, that's what they say. A lot of people are saying it's very likely. The everything from the patent leaks that have been shown to some developers saying that they've gotten their hands on the next gen console and starting developing games already.
Yep.
And so it's really interesting. I'm really hoping that this is going to push Nintendo to just finally make an announcement. A lot of people are speculating that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this month, September of 2024. I would say if they do that, I mean, it would have to be this week. Yeah. It would have to be like the 26th or something, because they've, according to many websites, they've done a Nintendo Direct every September for the last who knows how many years.
Isn't it for the whole Nintendo Switch generation?
Yeah, I believe
one
so.
In September? I believe that's what I was hearing.
Yep.
So, goodness.
So that's hopefully they'll keep on that tradition.
Okay. Well, to dive right in. So we're hopefully gonna have David here join us in a bit. He's having some audio problems, so hopefully he can figure that out and hop back in.
If not, maybe he'll join us in the comments here in the
yes. Oh, perfect.
Chat,
perfect. So. Let's see. We got a comment from Lakes. They will full on clown themselves if they say nothing about it, including not denying.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
And then there is.
Do you think they're going to say? I don't think they're going to say anything about this. I really don't.
I don't know.
I bet they're angry.
Probably. There's some there's people on both sides saying either they're completely embarrassed about the whole situation and just going to remain silent, kicking themselves, or maybe this is something that they had intended as part of a publicity stunt. But
right. And I don't think they mad. Yep. I don't think they fabricated this themselves either. Just throwing that out there for everyone.
Yeah.
There's no way they leaked this.
No.
They would not. They just announced 2 bundles for their OLED for this holiday season. I don't think they were. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but
I think they'd be shooting themselves in the foot
yes.
if they stepped on those toes.
That's what I'm saying. There was no way they were going to be announcing it before December with those OLEDs and those bundles coming out this holiday. There's no way they're going to. Here's a bundle. Oh, and here's a new system coming. So, which one do you want?
Right.
There's no way. So so that's why I'm saying they mad. I agree with Lakes. Oh, they mad.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they will just not bite the bullet, but just give in to all the temptation that everyone's saying, that all the fans are saying, and just announce it. Just say, this is what we're planning. The rumors are true. You know, we're mad that it got leaked, but there's no denying. You know, they've already mentioned, like, everybody knows it's coming. They said that they
Yes.
announced it during the current fiscal year, so
Yes.
it's got to come soon. If not now, then when? You know.
Yep.
But the big thing is, what are they going to announce with the Switch? There's some rumors that there's some other um, proprietary, or what's the right word for this? There's some, maybe potentially some peripherals. There was another leak that said that there could be another device that they don't know if it's a peripheral of the Switch 2 console or if it's, you know, a completely separate thing, a completely separate part, you know, of Nintendo, nothing to do with the Switch 2. And that was confirmed by the U.S. Federal Commission, something. Anyway,
Interesting.
Yeah, that's something to consider. Is maybe my guess is it would be some kind of peripheral, and there's even some information about it. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Goodness, yeah, I haven't heard that one yet. But oh man, what would you? When would you expect, Austin, to hear an announcement from Nintendo at this point?
I would expect it before the end of the year, at least before Christmas. I would. They would announce it at
After
least.
this
I would
leak,
expect
maybe.
them to. Yeah, I would expect them to announce it and say we have a release date for, you know, March or something of next year.
That'd be awesome. I know that there was rumors going around that they started production on the new hardware trailer for the Switch 2. So if that's true, then yeah, maybe I could see it coming out before the end of this year. But those bundles really throw me off. That's the thing.
Yeah,
because of those bundles, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna announce it before the end of the year. They're gonna wait. They're gonna ride this.
Dude, they are just riding it
this wave, and
milking the Switch for everything it's got.
Clown themselves, like Lake says. Yep,
absolutely. And I did find
here we go. It's a me Wario. The Switch 2 will be announced August 16th, 2025. Oh my word. That wouldn't be within the next fiscal year. Just throwing that out. I mean, maybe. I mean, perhaps. Anyway,
so here's what the article is saying. It's saying, while we're waiting the eventual unveiling of the Nintendo Switch 2, the company seems to be working on yet another device. A new wireless device made by Nintendo has been spotted making its way through the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, in the United States. No, it's not the Switch 2, seeing that the device is tagged simply as a wireless device, and the word console is not mentioned. It does carry a similar ID, though ending in a different tag number, which is similar to the Nintendo Switch 001. But it says that it lacks a battery and a boatload of connectivity, as it only features a 24 gigahertz wave sensor and a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi antenna. So it's got Wi-Fi capability, but the sensor is very minimal. It doesn't use a battery, meaning it has to be plugged in through a USB-C port. I'm guessing, no, I don't know if that's likely at all, but I was like, what if it's like a virtual console, like some kind of goggles or something that you can connect some kind of other eye peripherals, not quite VR, but but something. I don't know.
Dude. Lake says, please be a modern, updated Game Boy SP.
It's been a while since they've done anything like a, one of those mobile consoles.
I was saying, I really hope that's not. I mean, seeing as there's no battery, that took out all the things I was initially thinking.
Yeah.
That, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a Nintendo Switch Lite, but for the 2. So Nintendo Switch 2 Lite or Lite 2 or whatever it's gonna be. But then you said no battery. I was like, oh, never mind. But I really don't want them to split their attention again. Like this hybrid of console and handheld is amazing, and I want them to stick with it. And I don't want them to make another dedicated handheld device to make games for. I want everything to be on that one system. But if it doesn't have a battery, I don't have to worry about that. But the other question is, what could that be? goodness gracious. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah, I can only speculate, but my guess is it's got to be something peripheral related. But just like Gage and Janaea Baxter here is saying, ready for Switch 2. Not ready for Switch 2. I'm too poor for that. Just give me Metroid Prime 4. I really am looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. That's the one game that I'm sure is going to be a double release with the Switch and the next
there's
gen.
no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So my hope is that they'll announce it and give it a release date, and then say, this is going to be a release title. The Metroid Prime 4. Hi, David. Welcome back. Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
He's here.
Thank goodness.
David, you joined right on time to talk about Metroid Prime 4 possibly co-launching for the Switch 2 and the Switch.
I sure hope so. I think that's the best case scenario because take advantage of the original Switch install base.
Yes.
And it can have the power of and the hype of also being a launch title for the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Now I'm still waiting for confirmation that this is going to be backwards compatible. That would just be icing on the cake. That would be.
There are also others on our Discord that have specifically mentioned that concern. So until we hear from Nintendo themselves, they are even holding back on the new Zelda game coming out this month until they hear whether or not it is backwards compatible with the Switch games. David, we were talking about this a little earlier while you were figuring out your audio, but I want to know from you, when do you think the Switch 2 is going to be announced? Because we had, those two bundles come out for the OLED that Nintendo just announced. Then we had all these leaks. Like, do you expect them to speed up their timetable and announce this thing before the holiday? Or you think they're going to just stay silent and let the bundles run their course and announce it after the holiday? Like, what do you suspect?
I suspect that they want what they currently have to make money. So I think, even something as simple as we have Zelda coming out this week. I think they don't want to steal the spotlight from that. So I don't think they'll say anything before that game releases.
I don't think so either.
The focus is going to be on that.
Yep.
And then, like you said, they announced those OLED bundles. If they announce new hardware, then they're going to undermine that.
See, I was so heartbroken when they announced those OLED bundles.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what this means.
So
for a business standpoint.
So to be honest, like if that's their main concern, I think that it'll be January maybe when it's revealed.
Okay.
That seems like a safe bet. I hope it's sooner. Because here's one thing to consider. There might be more leaks. The longer they wait,
that's true. That's something Austin said too. Like he
had this one. We've had this leak, and I think it's just there's a good chance. Somebody with a camera, some random person, in the factory, more leaks. So let's get ahead of it.
Oh, yep, I agree. Stealth, I love it. Maybe if you pre-order a Switch 2, Zelda can create a Switch 2 in the game.
We'll be looking for Switch 2 We'll be looking for Switch 2 Easter eggs in games now.
That's right.
Lakes also says leaks including the CEO's address and breakfast schedule. If Nintendo stays silent, I don't doubt it, man. So that's when Austin said that he could see him announcing it before the end of the year. Now, and we've heard that the video itself is under production currently. They're currently working on the reveal video, so we shall see. I really hope, Austin, that you're right, because I don't want to wait till next year. But those bundles really put a downer on my Switch 2 hype train. But okay, so in regards to these leaks of the Switch 2, these images that we're not going to show here because we don't want to get kicked off by Nintendo. We don't want those Nintendo ninjas after us. Okay?
Leave us alone, Nintendo lawyers.
No. What do you guys think? I mean, Austin, you think they're legit? I think they're legit. David, what do you think? We kind of talked about that already.
It seemed plausible. I think so. They were obviously, a few of them were just renders, like 3D renders, and then there was one picture I think that showed like a taken apart shell.
With the motherboard there, yeah.
I think they are real. I don't know if they're fully accurate because apparently they're actually from a little while ago. I saw some information about that. They're not like completely recent images. So, there could be details that have changed since rendering. I do think it was a prototype of some kind.
Yes.
Too. And
sure.
and there were lots of rumors about like a magnetic system.
Magnetic Joy-Cons. Yeah.
So that either proves the rumors were on track for that, or if this is just fake, then I guess somebody could have been paying attention. Like magnetic ones, let's put it in our fake design. So I don't know. It feels real.
Very elaborate. Yeah, no, it totally feels real. And that's something that they wanted to do with the original Switch too. I remember them talking about their development of the Nintendo Switch and saying they wanted to go magnetic on the sides because they loved that snapping sound. But instead they went away from it and did the sliding system, but still try to put that click in there, that satisfying click. So it didn't surprise me at all when it leaked and said that they were going to use magnets. Lakes, if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo and big companies have denied false rumors in the past. This was a big rumor. Nintendo's silence says volumes.
That's true. They haven't responded at all.
Nope.
Which probably means they're kicking themselves and feeling super upset and crying about the dishonor on their family. That
dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. Absolutely. I want to talk about the extra button because in those layouts there was a on the right Joy-Con there was a home button and there was a button below the home button that's new to the Nintendo Switch family. What do you guys think that button is going to do? I mean, it's a square similar to the capture button on the left Joy-Con. But goodness, like
it could have to do with that other peripheral that we were talking about. Maybe it'll be a sync button to connect that device. Although it still has this like the sync button on top, it looks like, by the speaker. So I'm not entirely sure. But
you don't think it's going to be like a PlayStation 5 share button for like easy live streaming, right? That's my hope. I'm like, please, wouldn't that be awesome if you could just connect to YouTube and start streaming? Nintendo wouldn't do that. This is a kid device. David.
I have no idea what the button's for, but I'm just thinking about that, like you said, that other peripheral that was discovered in a patent or something. Is that what you're referring to? It's like it's some kind of wireless device from what I briefly read about it.
Some kind of wireless device that plugs into USB-C.
Doesn't have battery. Yeah.
No battery.
And the place I read about it suggested it could be some kind of motion controls device or something.
See, I was thinking because it has it has some kind of sensor in it that it could almost be like not VR, but some kind of device that you could connect and wear and it would track. And I don't know. That's just kind of my thought. But it would have to be something that would be connected to the Switch while you're playing and somewhat close to you. But
we have Stealth here responding to Lakes saying because the reason why they're silent is because they are too busy trying to destroy Pal World.
Oh man,
that's a whole nother discussion in and of itself.
And Pal World with their red hand is just like, what did we do? What did we do?
We'll see where that goes, but
goodness.
That device sounds interesting. I didn't hear this until we started our discussion, so I heard it here first, and so did you watching. I'm just kidding, maybe you didn't, but I did. But that sounds so interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on the pricing. There's been some predictions that the Switch 2 is going to cost around $400, and that its top tier games are going to be a 70, which was what the Tears of the Kingdom game sold for when that released.
That $70 price point doesn't really surprise me. The other two
Yeah.
major gaming companies, Microsoft, Sony, they're already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo, I guess, yeah, they started with Tears of the Kingdom. That game was insane when it comes to what you could do in there and how big the world was, the 3 layers and all that. Like, I could see how they would want to charge $70 for that, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me. 400? I don't know. That honestly seems about right to me.
It's a lot.
OLED.
Maybe a little high.
OLED is $350, right?
Yeah,
Right.
OLED 350. So this one's going to be the next gen, so you can almost guarantee it's going to be a little more expensive. And with the way the economy is going, it's no surprise that it's going to be a 400. With taxes, you're looking at 430 or so.
Mhm.
But
That's true. Then it's good timing that they announced PS5 Pro first, so everyone can be like, have that context. Oh, these
Mhm.
people want to charge like over 700 for something. so,
yeah,
so
yeah, no kidding.
it might sound nice after that. Oh yeah,
They better not charge $70 for a Wind Waker HD port.
yeah.
You know what? That's fair.
You know what? If they made a Melee HD port, I would gladly spend $70. Yeah,
Dang.
easy. Just take my money.
Yep. So, Austin, what do you think? $400 too high?
It's
I mean, this thing is rumored to be as powerful as a PlayStation, as far as I remember it correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's supposed to be as powerful as a PlayStation handheld. Then when you're docked, it's going to be as powerful as a PlayStation Pro, as a PlayStation 4 Pro.
it's. I was just gonna say it's high of a price, but it's not too high. It's realistic, and
Mhm.
people are gonna have to bite the bullet if they really want to, be on top of it and get the newest, latest, greatest console. But
Yeah.
I was just thinking
But
about
if that is true, I could see him justifying that $400 price tag.
But
For
the
sure.
thing is, depending on what this other peripheral is, you're looking at an additional $50
That's
to
true.
$100 on top of that. So, unless it was something that came with the console, but
come with it, whatever it is, like a dock, and then whatever this peripheral is, come with it.
yeah,
Yes. So Lake says Melee remaster in this economy.
dude. But it would be an investment. They would make bank. I'll tell you what, the Melee
They would.
scene is.
They would.
There's
They'd
a
make
lot of
money.
people that are interested still. So, and
Then Stuff says I would give my firstborn for an F-Zero GX remaster. Jeez.
That's a game I've never played, but I've since learned has quite the cult classic following.
Yes.
So, I don't know what the hype is about, but if they bring it, I would play it.
I never played the F-Zero, the new game that they released on the Switch. They had like a demo for it or something.
F-Zero 99.
99, yeah, which
Yeah,
is
I was
like a
gonna say
battle
99.
royale, right?
It's
Or
so
something?
good.
I heard it's great.
It's incredible. So we have a comment from Kelsey. She says, what with this leak, it makes me wonder if there is a manhunt going on at Nintendo. I thought the same thing today. I thought, man, someone lost their job.
Yeah,
At least lost
they're
their job
getting.
in a lawsuit.
But I was gonna say they're gonna get in big trouble because they'll easily be able to tell who the perpetrator is.
True.
But
Goodness. Lakes has a comment about our pricing. $400 is still cheaper than my Steam Deck. It's not a bad price at all.
yeah,
I need to know the comparison here. So they're saying the Switch 2, like powerful as a PS4 or a PS4 Pro dock. I mean, how powerful is the Steam Deck? Is it better than that? Is a Steam Deck?
I don't
That's a
think
good question.
so. That is
What
a
is
good-
the console parity there? What is it?
That's a good question.
I'm looking it up
Austin's-
right now.
Austin's
And
looking that up.
typing
Austin's
away.
looking that up, David.
It looks
Let's
like,
respond to this comment. Oh, you already finished? You already found it?
well, this is just what the AI overview has presented as far as
Oh,
information.
That's fair.
It's it just says it offers a console-like experience. Here's some ways that the Steam Deck compares to other gaming consoles. Yeah, that's not helpful. I want to know exactly what console is equivalent to a Steam Deck. Well, you
Yes.
can't play the latest PC games here. The Nintendo Switch shares the same form factor as the Steam Deck, so that's probably what it's most comparable to, I imagine.
I think Steam Deck is a little more powerful because it's able to play games that can't run on Switch, the original Switch. So
Yeah,
I guess they're not all verified, but like almost anything you can buy from Steam.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, it's got to not dumb down, but it's got to bring down the resolution quite a bit.
Right. That's what I'm wondering about resolution.
Says a lot of people compare it to the PS4 in terms of power, but the screen resolution is only 1280 by 800, and it's a Switch is a 720. So the
Right.
hardware can do more with less, is what it says.
Okay. But Stuff asks a good question. At $400, can it come with a virtual stand?
Vertical.
Yes. Yes, it can. Vertical stand. We have another comment saying price makes sense, but I would be amazed if Nintendo actually delivers a console with comparable hardware to the PlayStation 5. Me too. I don't think it's going to be PlayStation 5 like stats at all. It's going to be the very, very most it'll be like PlayStation 4 Pro or PlayStation. Or somewhere below that even.
That's probably the limits of mobile technology. I don't know, like unless you want to pay a fortune.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I part of me misses the old days when it, Nintendo wasn't as mobile and they just had a solid, just a solid console that I'd even be willing to spend $500 on a decent, Nintendo console, next gen console that was comparable to a PS5. I think that would be amazing. They've always been behind the ball.
Yes.
When it comes to power and resolution graphics, which isn't everything. We know that. Nintendo's been fantastic in terms of delivering games that are high quality despite lower FPS, lower resolution, everything. But
Another good comment by Lakes.
Sure.
Steam Deck probably wins in power. Switch 2 will win in battery. You know what? I think you're right. I think you're going to be right. And then Stealth also says that the Steam Deck can play Cyberpunk, and I know a PlayStation 4 kills itself if it tries to play that.
oh wow.
So, food for thought.
What were you going to say, David?
I don't know. I was distracted by that comment.
Oh,
Sorry.
we were talking about the performance of the Switch, but yeah. Anyway,
I did see it in some of the specs details from the leak. They were saying that they did end up choosing a different chip than AMD because they wanted to prioritize battery, and so where they ended up supposedly going with was still pretty powerful, but like much better efficiency in battery. So that
That's
kind of
awesome.
rings true. What I hope that it's comparable to Steam Deck. It's not like a dramatic difference, because I think people are pretty happy with the power of the Steam Deck. So
yeah.
if we can get comparable power, even if it's a little less, but for a cheaper price, that would be awesome.
As long
Oh,
as they
man.
get the Joy-Con situation figured out, I could care less
That
about
is the question. Are we going to have Joy-Con? I was going to ask that question. Are we going to have Joy-Con drift?
that actually work. That would be nice. Yeah.
There's
Because
already a solution.
I'm Go ahead.
What was that, David?
there's already a solution. There's like these new joysticks called like Hall Effect.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
They apparently never have drift, so like ever. So they should just use that. There's technology for it.
Yeah.
PlayStation needs to use it too. I've had 2 of my PlayStation 5 controllers drift. They've started. So it's a problem with Sony and Nintendo.
It's just
Let me see here. We got another comment. I can't. Yep, we got Gage. I'm saying all their tricks for Breath of the Wild, i.e., rendering in the background as flat images without the player noticing, they are pretty epic at making good games with crap hardware.
that's true. They know how to optimize.
You did not hear it here first. That yeah, Nintendo's they're masters at their art. And then Stealth says they better keep with NVIDIA for backwards compatibility.
Yeah, interesting point.
That could be.
I don't know if that's what the
Is that
I don't know if that's what the leak said. The leak might have said something else. But anyway, worth looking up. Yeah, I was gonna say is regarding that last the first comment about Breath of the Wild. I also heard that they did some like technical wizardry with Metroid Prime, like the original Metroid Prime has a lot
they did.
had a lot of tricks for like they don't render the background behind you, but they like are able
What?
to. I don't know, like that's
What?
one of the they made it look so great but still perform
Dude.
great. Retro Studios did some wizardry there. Like I remember seeing a video about it once, and it's another example of like if you know the technical tricks, you can do some amazing things even with pretty crappy hardware. So
That is crazy.
that's why Metroid Prime, the original, like has aged so well. Was able to look so good on the remastered version on Switch.
Arguably one of the best looking games on the Switch.
Yeah,
For sure. Going back to the drift, no one else said anything. Are we going to have drift on this thing?
no.
No.
Please,
Okay.
please, no.
I know. Please no. What I do like about those Joy-Con though is they're a lot bigger. They showed the Nintendo Switch, whether it's OLED or not, but the Nintendo Switch and then the Nintendo Switch 2 above it in a render, and it was significantly bigger. I have huge hands. I would appreciate bigger Joy-Con. And the SL, SR buttons seem a lot bigger, a lot more natural. Sorry, as well, in these new controllers. So I am excited. If that's what they look like, I would be happy with that. Those Joy-Con look like a major improvement.
I agree. You know, one thing I wanted to bring up, they showed that it has a USB-C port on the top and the bottom. I think that's interesting. The thought I had,
Yes.
what if that indicates almost like a Wii U functionality where you can plug in the USB-C to the TV and like have your screen still display and be on the TV. You remember how the Wii U worked at all? There were a lot of games that had like people playing on the screen only, but everyone else could see on the TV still. What if they're gonna try?
They're bringing back the dual screen. You heard it here first.
Yeah, maybe.
They could.
I don't know. People were like, "That's a small change, but it could have really interesting implications to have like the 2 USB-C ports on it."
Who was I hearing? I was listening to a video on YouTube, like I do. I swear, someone thought it was like legitimately a charge cable. You could charge it from the bottom or the top, depending on how you're playing as your portable. Because think about it, when you're playing tabletop mode and you got that kickstand out, you can't charge your Switch while you're playing like that. So having a convenient over-the-top charging port makes sense.
I think that's the most basic reason. I'm curious if there's any other purpose.
But I'm sure there's another purpose. They wouldn't do that just for that one charging purpose.
I think Nintendo's going to go full Einstein and recreate the whole gaming industry by letting this one be portrait mode in all of their games.
I'm going to hide Austin from the stream now. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Jeez, can you imagine? If they're
Oh, that
doing
would
that,
stink.
go mobile, Nintendo, go mobile, okay? Go on their mobile phone.
Just make a phone. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I've had friends that suggested they make a Nintendo phone. It would be over, man. There we go. Stealth is excited about that one. He said, "Mobile gaming on the Nintendo Switch." Yeah, baby. No, absolutely not.
You know one thing that has always bothered me? Genshin Impact is you can play it on mobile, but not on Switch. It was announced for Switch a long time ago, and I know
Mhm.
people that are huge fans of it. But like, why can they play it on their phones, and why didn't it ever come to Switch even though it was announced for Switch?
Goodness.
So maybe
I
that's
didn't
an
realize that.
example of mobile gaming I wouldn't mind actually being able to play Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like says that mobile Mario Kart was a monstrosity.
And the mobile Mario Run, was it? Or Mario
Mario
I don't
Run.
remember what it was
Yep.
called.
I heard that one was decent, but it's way too expensive.
It was way
I
expensive.
heard it was way too
for a
simple. You
mobile
just
game.
kind of hold the button and it
Hold the
runs,
button
and
or
then you
yep,
jump.
He just
and then
runs
that's
auto
it.
and you just jump. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like, but
It's like, yeah. I don't know.
so
I
we're
need it.
feeling we're feeling pretty good about the leaks. We're feeling pretty good about the size. Are we going back to the size of the thing? Are we worried about portability at all with how big it is? There's some rumblings online that people are getting worried that it's too big to be easily ported around.
I mean, it's still smaller than an iPad, right?
Yes. So you heard it here first. It's going to be
Well-
fine. All right.
iPads around.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I think, and anyway, like I play on TV, I play handheld, but it's all still at home. Like I actually don't take it places with me that often. I just love the flexibility of like somebody wants the TV, I'll just go play handheld somewhere, you know?
I'm right there with you, David. I don't really take my Switch anywhere. I know a lot of people that do, though.
Yeah.
Steven was playing it today.
I
He
was
brought it
playing
to
it. I was
lunch.
playing it to lunch.
He brought it to
Went
lunch and was playing
Chubby's.
it while waiting for us.
I was. I also take it to Texas. Whenever I fly over to Texas, I take it on the plane. I'm playing something. Or my daughters are begging me for it to let them play something while they're flying for hours. So I definitely travel with it. It's easy to travel with, and yeah, I wouldn't complain if it's that much bigger. So
Blake says a cool comment here. He says, really wish Nintendo would make a weaker portable system like a Super Game Boy that could utilize their retro games. That would be pretty cool.
Ooh. You know what? If they did another handheld, I'd be okay with that. It'd be like what they were doing with their what was that thing called? The mini Super Nintendo device.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, remember our Game Boy games? Well, here's a retro Game Boy. It has all these games on it. Specs are better. I don't know. Is that weird? I think that's what Lakes was saying.
That's probably what he's
Really awesome.
yeah. Like I don't remember what
That'd be
they
sweet.
called the newer versions of those, the NES and the Super NES. But they made like classic versions of them. I don't remember what they called them, but
I bought the Super Nintendo one. It was awesome.
yeah.
I don't have it anymore. It was that was a short-lived thing, but it was awesome. All right. Well, the only other thing I can think of to talk about for the Switch 2 is release date. We've talked about everything else. We talked about price. We talked about when they might or when they could announce it. So when are we going to see this thing? My guess I'm going to throw out there is going to be next holiday.
Wait, what? Like end of 2025?
End of 2025.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that, but I guess
hope
you're right.
not,
It could
but
be.
It could be. If they're announcing it after the holiday, you know, and sometime before before the end of March, before the end of April.
Well, they have to announce it sometime the fiscal year, but that could, if they announce it at the tail end of the fiscal year, I could see it being released maybe towards the fall of 2025.
August or September or something.
Yeah, September, October, whatever.
Somewhere
But
around
sometime
there.
before the Christmas season, so that
Yes.
stores will have them on their shelves. People can buy them.
Yes.
Summer of 25 is possible. I honestly
I
was
hope I'm wrong.
hoping that they would just drop like this huge bombshell news and say we're actually going to release it in March for Mario Day, March 10th.
That would be sick.
The original Switch released in like March.
Yeah, it
So,
did.
so that's my guess. I do think we get it like spring, summer of next year, but
But is that too soon?
no.
I don't think it's too soon if they announce it in October like they did with the first Switch, right? They announced it in October, they released it in March.
Yeah,
I guess they could do the same thing here.
it's possible.
But again, the OLEDs. Anyway, sorry, Dave, go ahead.
That was my hope. Like, even if they don't announce it as soon as I want them to, I was thinking March was my target. Like, I think they'll release it the same time frame as the original Switch.
That'd be
The
so
work is
awesome.
fine. And
I'd be so down for that. Let's go.
I know. I guess you're right, but that wouldn't be taking advantage of. Yeah, they can't be too soon anymore. All they can be is late. That's exactly right.
I think we can cut off the stream now. Stealth nailed it. He said it
Yeah.
better than we could have. There you go. Thanks, Stealth. And yeah, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just kidding, everyone. I'm just kidding. But seriously,
I agree with him though. That's why I didn't even care about the leak. Like, am I going to spoil the hype if I look at this leak? And I was like, no, I just don't. I don't care to wait anymore. I just want to see something, you know?
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I saw some people worried, like, if Nintendo does bring up their reveal plans because of the leak, is it going to like steal some of that hype? Like, I won't be as excited to see it because it'll be, oh, this is just what we saw in the leak. And, you know,
I've heard that too.
I don't think that'll happen to me. I'll just be like so relieved to see it officially.
Yeah,
Even if it was even if it matches what was in the leak, I'll be like, it's official now, and now I
Yeah.
can actually look forward to it instead of just hope it exists.
Exactly. I totally agree.
So
Plus,
I wouldn't mind.
when they
I
do
wouldn't
announce
mind
it,
if they bring up their reveal plans because of the leak. I'd even be happy. So-
I wouldn't mind that either. Another reason why, yes, I totally agree with you. But again, with the OLEDs, right? And something I said in our Discord earlier today, I believe, was that I bet they're just trying to. I mean, they're already knocking on the door of the PlayStation 2 all-time sales. They want to try to beat that sales with their Nintendo Switch system, and have one final push before they get to the Switch 2. But I really hope you're right, David. I really hope you're right.
You just reminded me. One last thought I had with the price point of the rumored price point for Switch 2 is maybe it'll be like, this is the console for the serious gamers, or the more serious gamers, right? They care about power. The original Switch and all those OLED bundles and stuff, that'll be for the kids, right? So maybe it still works out because of the pricing. They'll be like, they won't be too worried. People will still buy the original Switch, and we can still have these bundles because that's what parents will buy their kids this holiday season, even if they know the Switch 2 is coming. Because like new parents are just gonna be like, yes, I'll immediately buy more expensive hardware for my children. So
here's actually a thought. Here's what I could see happening if they announce the Switch 2 sometime soon, in like the next month. Then they could drop the price of the Switch,
Yes,
and get a lot more sales this holiday for people that, like you said, for their kids or whatever that still want the Switch. There might be a lot of people that would just say, why buy a Switch if the Switch 2 is going to be coming out soon next year or whatever.
people are saying that anyway, right?
Right.
People are at
Yes.
that point.
There are
Whether
people
they
that will
announce it.
do both. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I agree with you. I'm not too worried about like it stealing sales of the current Switch, because I think we're so far in its life, people are buying it less and less anyway. And even just knowing that the successor exists and is coming is already having a little bit of that effect. So I don't think just staying silent as long as possible will benefit them that much.
Yeah.
Even if they're worried about like we don't want to steal sales of the current Switch. It's now at the point where it's not selling like it used to anyway. So
it's true.
Well,
It's been declining.
Yeah, and if anything's for certain, I think Nintendo's been pretty good about maintaining the hype with some of the games that they've just announced. Zelda coming out this week. I'm really stoked for that. The Mario and Luigi Brotherhood game.
Yes.
And of course, they announced Metroid Prime 4. I imagine it's going to be a dual release, just like we said at the start of this stream. But
One final thing worth talking about. If launch games for the Switch 2. We talked about Metroid Prime 4. I think the
Mario
Pokemon,
Kart?
I think Pokemon Legends.
Pokemon Legends.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the new Legends. That'd be awesome.
Z-A or whatever. We had
Yes.
that one reveal and it said 2025 and we haven't seen anything else about it. I think it's because that one is only Switch 2.
They didn't say the console, did they?
They did
No.
not. Nope.
They just gave the time frame. I think that's a launch game for the Switch 2.
Are you serious? A launch game? That'd be awesome.
And I don't think it's cross-gen. I think it's just going to be exclusive because it was really just a cinematic trailer that showed.
Yeah, it was.
Here's
Just
the
make sure it's
title.
polished.
It's a Pokemon game, and it looked promising, but we didn't see anything about the actual gameplay, and I think that's because they're saving that for like the Switch 2 review. Like,
Yeah.
here's the Switch 2. Here's some games that are coming for it, and that's when we'll finally. Those details.
Stealth. I can't wait for Mario Kart 8 to be ported to the Nintendo Switch 2 again. No, we're getting 9 now. Dang it! I'm so
Yes.
sick of playing 8. I'm so sick of 8. But yeah, absolutely. For sure we're definitely getting a new Mario Kart. We're definitely gonna. Well, not definitely. I hope Metroid Prime 4 again is a dual release.
Mario Odyssey 2.
Odyssey 2, man, or whatever's next for Mario.
Some other
If they
Mario.
If they have a better idea than Odyssey 2, then give it to me. Oh, it's going to look so good. I was going to say, even if they just to get the hype back, all they have to do is show games that are coming out for this thing to get that hype back and be like, yes, it leaked, but look what you can do with it. It's like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
Yep.
That'll be the key, I think. And what do you think the surprise cross-gen release will be? Because the Switch had like Skyrim. You can play Skyrim on portably.
Oh, you're
I think
right.
it's gonna be. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or not Rebirth.
Ooh.
Sorry, Final Fantasy VII Remake at least.
The remake. Oh,
Dude,
that would be
Fantasy's
cool.
back on Nintendo. That'd be sick. I mean, you heard that. Who is it? Okay, now I'm looking like a big fool. I have not played the Final Fantasy VII Remake so it was Square Enix, right? Who made that one? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. I remember when Rebirth launched. For some reason, they were pretty upset with the way it launched, and they said they didn't want to, be explicit to one console anymore. So I could see that happening, unless Sony has some kind of rights that say that they can't release that on any other console or something, or specifically for them. And then moving forward, they can't do that. I don't know, but I'd love to see that game on the Switch. That'd be
Usually
sick.
they have to wait. Usually we'll release it on Steam or whatever a year later than it did on the PlayStation. Grand Theft Auto 6 on launch, non-rendered edition.
One.
Oh man, we're getting into the weeds. I'm just kidding. Oh man.
I'm really hoping that they'll keep some really good surprises for this console still, like the whole new peripheral thing, whatever they've got. I'm hoping there will be some exciting news that hasn't been spoiled by leaks yet. So
Agreed. Are we finally going to have adaptive triggers
maybe
on the Pro controller? Maybe. I know the trigger buttons looked a tad bigger than the Switch model currently, so there was talk that we could have adaptive triggers. But I personally like adaptive triggers, so that'd be awesome. I'd take it. But I'm running out of things to talk about on the Nintendo Switch too. How about you guys? I think we're about wrapped up here.
I think we have, but it was a fun discussion.
yeah,
It was a really fun discussion. Let us know down in the comments if you have any other final questions for us.
Or your
stick around for a few more
predictions.
seconds for your predictions. Let us know your predictions, and we can react to them before we wrap up here. But it's getting late, and yeah. So Nintendo Switch 2, hopefully this year announced. Hopefully, not hopefully, it will release next year. But goodness, Lex says, thanks, fellas. Absolutely, Lex. Thanks so much for being here. All of you, thank you so much for joining us for this discussion. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe if you're not already, and ring that notification bell and like it. And yeah, goodness gracious. Hopefully we see a trailer for Nintendo Switch either this month or sometime in the next few months before the holiday. And if not, then yeah, the January thing, and then maybe late summer release or early fall or something. I don't know.
No more silence. No more waiting.
Yes.
No more silence. That's the thing, Nintendo. Oh my word. Anyway.
Yeah, that's my final mantra. No more silence.
No
more
more
waiting.
silence.
I'm being silent over here. All right, guys. Until next time.
Keep it nerdy.
Okay.